This is how to use the built-in function all in Python. This function returns true if all elements of the iterable are true, or if the iterable is empty. This function is equivalent to the code as follows, where the iterable could be list, tuple, set, dictionary, and other iterable types. Example 1, list. Now I create a list named my list equals to true sort, which is the string, 9, a number, minus 9.99, negative number. Result equals to all my list. And result on my list. Now let's check the answer. The result is true because all of the elements in the list are true, so it returns true. Next, I'm going to reset the string to an empty string like this and keep other things unchanged. Now let's check the result. Run again. We got false because the empty string is taken as false. Next example, my list equals to, here I'm going to add an element which is none, and none will make the result false. Let's check the answer again. Look at that. It returns false because there is a none in the list. Next example. Now, this time, I'm going to replace true with false and without none. Let's check the result. It returns false because there is a false in the list. Next, I'm going to replace soft to a special string with one white space, like this. Now, let's check the result. We get true. Next example. This time, I would like to change 9 to 0. It returns false because 0 is taken as false. Next example. Now, I'm going to replace minus 9.99 to 0.0 and check the result. Similarly, it returns false. Now, let's create an empty list. My list equals to empty list. Now let's check the result. And we got true. We may also create a nested list like this. Check the answer. We got false. Please pay attention to this result. We may also create an empty list. Like this. And run it again. We got false either. Another nested list my list equals 2 with 2 empty list. Now let's check the result. It returns false. The last example for list has the parameter my list equals to this, and we add an empty sublist in the outer list. Then we check the result. We got false because there is an empty list. Case 2, tuple as a parameter. Here we have a tuple named myTuple. First element is true, followed by a string, followed by an integer 9, and then minus 9.99. All elements are true, so the result will be true. Check the result. And with my tuple, here we got true. The second example. Now I just add a none into the tuple. And run it again, we got false because there is a none in the tuple. Another example. Now let's check an empty tuple. My tuple equals to an empty tuple out equals to all my tuple. And turn it out. Here we got true because the tuple is empty, so it returns true. Next, let's take a look at a nested tuple. My tuple equals to next tuple, but they're all empty. Now let's check the result. Now it returns false. The last example for tuple. My tuple equals to this, and then I add a nested tuple. Now let's check the result. Because there is an empty tuple here, so we got false. Case number 3, we may also pass a set value to the function as a parameter. Now let's create my set. My set equals to true as in sub as a string, a positive number, integer, and with a floating number. 9.99, which is negative. The result will be all my set, and let's print out the result and my set. Run it again, and we got true because every element in the set is true, and the set is iterable. The next example for set. Similarly, I add a none as the element in the set. Now this is none. Now it returns false because there is a none in the set. Another example is to set an empty set. My set equals to set. Now let's check the result. Run it, we got true because it is an empty iterable. So it returns true. Case number 4, dictionary data as parameter. Now I'm going to set my dictionary, which is a typical dictionary. Let's say key 1 and value 1. Another pair, key 2 and value 2. Now let's take a look at the result. All my dictionary and then print it out with my dictionary. Let's check the result. It returns true because every item in the dictionary is not false. So it returned true. Another example for dictionary. This time I set value 1 as none and the value 2 as false. Now let's check the result. It returns true again because the value is none and value is false doesn't matter to this case because the key 1 and the key 2 is normal. Case number 5. We may also pass other iterables into this function as parameter. For example, print 5 other iterables. First, I'm going to create a range. I set 100. And the result would be all my range. I pass my range into all function. And then let's check the result and my range. Look at the output, we got false. Why? Because there is 0 in the range. So it returns false. This time, I'm not going to start from 0. I change it to 1. Let's create another range. Make it start from 1. And I run the program. We got true because all data in the range is true. Next, let's try with the filter type because filter type is also an iterable. My filter equals to filter, and this is a lambda expression. Lambda x is greater than 0. And followed by a list. -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, and 3. Let's check the result. All my filter as the parameter and print out the result of my filter. Let's check the result. It returns true. Why? Because after the filter function executed, now it remains 1, 2, and 3. So the all function returns true. There is no 0 anymore. Next example, the map. Let's create a map function. Map lambda x double x Here, I want to double all the items from the list. -1, -2, -3, and 1, 2, and 3. Look, there is no zero or a false item in the list. Now, let's check the result. Don't forget to change the variable name. Let's run it again, and we got 2. That's all for the built-in function all. Thank you.